This is Andy Perot of Boxing Social, and I'm joined by Barry Hearn for the second day on the bounce. Barry, we've just seen the weights revealed. First, we start off with Anthony Joshua of Brit. Your thoughts on him coming in underneath 17 stone?
I'm quite pleased about that. I thought he looked a little lethargic last time. I mean, for whatever reason, I think he'll be sharp. And, wow, you know, he looks in great shape. Listen, it's a 50-50 fight. What can you say? But I think Joshua looked... I'm happier to see him come in slightly less weight than he did last time.
AJ coming in underneath 17 stone, is that kind of indicating we're expecting him to box and move, or...?
Not necessarily. I'm expecting him to be faster thinking, faster on his feet, faster with his hand speed. I'm expecting him to do more. I'm expecting him to have more stamina. These are all positives, but there's a negative. He's got someone in the other corner that can fight as well. So, you know, it's not all positive.
Let's move on to the man in the other corner. Andy Ruiz coming in at over 20 stone, another stone heavier than what he was in the first fight in New York. Your thoughts on Andy Ruiz's weight, Barry?
It's confused me. It's confused me a lot. If I was in Ruiz's corner, I don't like that weight. It sounds to me there's a bit of easy living gone in there, because that's a hell of a lot of weight to put on. Maybe I'm hoping too much for Anthony's sake, but I see that as a negative sign, whereas I see Joshua's, 10 pound less, I see that as a positive sign. It can all go upside down on one punch in this game, you know that. But I think that's probably the second highest weight ever recorded in the history of boxing by a defending champion. The only other fighter I think is exceeded that weight was Nikolai Valuev, who fought David Hay, who I think weighed about 330 pounds, but he was 7 foot tall. Andy Ruiz is 5'10", 5'11", you know. I mean, it's really thrown me. That weight has thrown me.
Ruiz coming in so heavy, what do you think he may be looking to achieve by doing so?
I don't know. I don't know what you can achieve, because I was expecting Ruiz, having won the championship, having had plenty of time to train for this fight, I was expecting him to come under his last weight, not a stone over his last weight. I don't want to get carried away, because it's not just about weight, but I view that as a very positive sign for Anthony Joshua.
Before I let you shoot off, because obviously I know we spoke for a while yesterday, your final thoughts ahead of tomorrow night, how can you see it playing out now we know the weight?
Anthony Joshua stops him. 4 or 5 rounds.
Barry, before I do let you shoot off, just talk about White Whack as well. How excited to see that one?
Yeah, well, I'm a big Dillian Whyte fan. I think he's a great fighter. Whack looks the part. He's been at this level and been exposed before. Dillian was quite short notice, so he was a little heavier than I would have liked him as well. But I think Dillian's got too much firepower and much too much heart at this level.
How surprised was you that Dillian was that little bit heavier?
Not surprised, because, I mean, he hasn't had a full training camp. He's a pro, he's ready to fight, he's a fighting man. But if you'd have had another 4 or 5 weeks, I think you'd have seen a considerable reduction in his weight as well. I don't see him so much as a problem. I think Dillian Whyte is a different type of opponent. So, you know, he's a quality fighter. He's not going to give up what he's earned so far. I think he'll have too much for what.
Well, Barry, I will let you shoot off now. Appreciate your time. Thanks for speaking to myself on Boxing Social.
Cheers, mate. Good luck.